thank everybody for coming out, but as always, before we start our meeting, we have a little prayer from Pastor Logan. So Pastor Logan, if you don't mind.
Come on, let's bow our heads together. And if you don't believe in bowing your head, fake it for a moment. So this will be a short prayer, but we want to start our meeting up, putting the Lord first. Most gracious Father, we thank you, Lord, right now. Another opportunity. A whole month has passed, and I see that you're still keeping us and holding us in the hollow of your hand. And we just want to come and just say thank you. Thank you for this meeting of even all our guests that are here today. We just thank you that you bless us, not only Southeast Day, but you bless the city of Denton, all our officials, the mayor, and staff, and school board, and all the people that are thinking about the best interest for our city. So bless them, Lord, hold them, bless our president and all the members of SED group. In the name of Jesus, we pray and we ask it all. We say together, amen.
I did have food on the way. The lady from Habitat, I didn't know she was coming. She went and picked it up for me. So whenever it gets here, we'll pass that out. But first off, I want to read this back to school party. It's Friday, July the 29th, here at the MLK Center from 5 to 9 p.m. For anyone that has children or know of your children, there's a back to school party Friday night from 5 to 9 p.m. Okay, I'm gonna move through this quickly because, like I said, there are a lot of people here tonight. Anyone here from code enforcement? I didn't call them, so I didn't get any. But does anybody have any complaints for code enforcement that they want me to pass along? Anything? Nothing?
I got a praise report for code enforcement. They cut that tree on the corner of Lakey and Wilson, so you can see around the corner there. If you notice it, they're going to move that way. They cut it back. I asked them to cut that back so you can see.
All right.
So they can do that.
Oh, okay. Anyone here from the police department? No. Anybody have any complaints for the police that I can pass back? No, nothing. Okay. Well, I'll start with the sound people, and we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. They just wanted to show everybody the final thing. Cameron, you gonna do it, or?
Oh no, I was gonna let the community, Reverend Logan, if you wanna start it off.
So we just want to say, to everyone, you see that this sign project came, Randy Hunt started off with Ellen and with Tanya. We had some professional graphic people working for us for a great price of money, $0. And I tell you, and they really put their heart and soul in it. We had a group to come out of this SED group, another committee. With those committee members, just raise your hand. They met on Tuesday at the American Legion Hall Senior Citizen Building in Houston at 10:30 a.m. They did that for like 5 meetings to work out some of the particular what we wanted to see on these sign topics. And you see, this is what was born out of that. Just beautiful job. Tanya finished it up and gave it to Cameron at the city, and they sat there and worked with that. And this is what you'll see as you go down to various communities in the city of Denton, which now will be, some of them established, will be historical neighborhoods. Right. I mean, we'll have that name on neighborhoods in Southeast Denton. Amen. And you never know what will come up out of that. But this is what you'll see above the seats, the street sign. You have these sign toppers. I mean, a beautiful job. Amen. I mean, what we started off with was good, and they've just perfected. Ellen and Tanya has just done a wonderful job with this in the city. They came and put their cap on. The only thing we need to know now is where to place the sign. Well, Randy got that already figured out. You got to just ask him. He got it already put out on a map where each one of the sign toppers should go. He's got that all figured out to get to the city. And the only thing we need from the city is when they're going to start producing and then start installing. And they'll let us know that at a later date when they're going to do that. You know, I come from a manufacturing world with Boeing and Lockheed. So we look at what we create and then how we're going to make it and what it's going to look like, and then how it goes to production, and then how we produce it, and then how can we get it out quickly when we start installing. That's why you fly on 737s, amen? You can't stay on the board, it's got to become real. So they've done a great job with this. We want to thank the SED group and everyone that's involved with it. And this is the beginning of great things to carry on in the Southeast Denton area. And then out to the city. Now they got somebody they can, how can we make sign toppers? Well, go and just ask the people over in the Southeast Denton. We'll tell you how to get it done. along with the city. Thank you.
Did you want to add anything, Cameron?
No, I think Reverend Logan covered it.
We just wait to hear back.
Okay.
Okay, Mayor, do you have anything?
No, I'll defer to everyone else at the same time. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Bird, I give you 5 minutes.
I can do this. Hello, everybody. It's good to see and be in everyone's presence again. Down to the point, I have heard you all. I appreciate your feedback that you've been giving me. I've been answering the phone and answering the call to what you all are expecting of me, and I appreciate that. So you asked for me to be, I heard that I wasn't giving you all enough information. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start taking our Friday reports that we get from the city, and I'm gonna start making a video of those reports, and I'll be reading that report out to you to let you know what the city is doing, most likely video. And I'll do that for you. I'd ask you to go to my Facebook page. You'll be able to find that report that's written to you. So I heard that. The other thing that I understand is that if there is some contention or something that I'm missing, I'm appreciating you all letting me know how to handle certain situations. So I've done that. You said you wanted some more information. I've brought some folks in that are working on a development here so you all can understand what's happening, the way that's coming up the pipe. And they're going to give us a presentation on that Wells Fargo building and what's coming up there. I'll also ask for you all, if you all would please be mindful that I am a citizen of this community as well, District 1, and that's the reason why I'm here, because I had complaints. So now I'm sitting on the city council. I understand your anxiousness when you're trying to get something done. I can hear you. So allow me to do that. So with that being said, I'm going to turn this over to Madam President here and let her move on. But again, thank you. That's one of the things I know that I can do, is to be more mindful of what you need to hear. Okay?
All right.
So what she's talking about, we have Scott Brown here tonight, and he's gonna give a presentation, and I'll let you introduce yourself and the person that you brought with you, Scott. We all know Scott Brown, we went to school with him.
A little while, I want to pass those around. So, my name's Scott Brown. I've been here in Denton for a while. I'm born and raised here, and my mom and dad were both born and raised here. My grandparents were here most of their lives. And I've got a couple of real estate companies here in town. And this handout I'm giving you guys, there's been some talk that they were worried about this, me not, when we developed this Wells Fargo tower into a hotel, they were worried that we wouldn't make it look like Denton. And so what I'm trying to show people is I've done 14 developments in downtown Denton since 1992. And so I feel like I'm a big part of why downtown Denton looks like it does. I mean, I know what the look is. You'll see all the projects I've been involved in. And, you know, when we bought this Wells Fargo tower, it's by far the ugliest building in Denton County. I mean, it doesn't even go with downtown Denton. And so what we're wanting to do, those first two pictures in the packet are the original bank building that they tore down before they built the tower. And we're wanting to bring it back. you know, it's 8 stories tall right now, so it'll look a little bit different than that, but we're gonna do everything we can to bring it back to the original bank building. And, anyway, I just wanna, you know, Denton's been really good to me. I started my company in '92, and, Denton and God have been good to me. I certainly don't deserve it, but this is a way that I can give back to Denton. Because I don't know how many years I got left, but I want to give this back to Denton because of how well Denton's been to me. And if anybody, this is Scott Tarwater. He's done quite a few hotels. He's done, 84 hotels across the country. And he brought in the Embassy Suites that's out in Razor Ranch. That was his project, in which now it's the, I don't know if anybody knows, but it's the #1 Embassy Suite in the world. And it's been that 2 years in a row, so there's not a doubt in my mind this hotel deal will work. We're gonna also put a parking garage in, which will be free parking for the city, which has always been an issue in downtown Denton. There's nowhere to park. And so we're gonna add somewhere between 400 to 500 parking spots that are free to the public. And then there'll also be a 20,000-foot convention center. Then we're gonna have a food court, with a food hall, and it'll have 7 to 10 different restaurants in it. And the cool deal is we're trying to bring in all the different people in Denton. You know, we're gonna have a big deal about Quakertown. And in our speakeasy, that's what it's called, right? We're gonna have a speakeasy, and it'll be set up to go through all the history of Denton, and Quakertown will be a big part of that. Trying to think, we're gonna have so over the parking garage, we'll have a 50,000 square foot outdoor venue for people to have outdoor concerts or whatever, and possibly a outdoor movie theater. And you know, people have talked about the noise, but the movie theater will all be headsets, and there will be no noise from the movie theater. They've done a couple of them in the United States, but this will be one of the first ones, I think, in Texas. Trying to think. Really, that's about it. I'll let Scott talk. What happened when we bought this place, he started wearing us out about this hotel, and I kept telling him, look, we're not doing a hotel. I don't know nothing about hotels, and we're not gonna do a hotel. And he just kept pounding on me, I mean, for over a year. And finally, he convinced me to go have lunch with him. And then after that, I was sold. And there's no doubt in my mind this hotel will bring a ton of jobs to Denton, and it's also gonna bring a gob of money to downtown Denton. You know, I believe that within, I put together 7 companies that have been successful, and I believe that every business in downtown Denton will double in business after this thing gets going. And most of the business owners have been real happy about it. But anyway, that's about all I got. If somebody's got a question or whatever, I'll do my best to answer it, and then let Scott talk to you guys a minute.
How much will our taxes go up?
That's a very good question. I don't know the answer to that yet. We're still in the very beginning stages of it, even though we've been kind of going over it for about a year. We're still working with the city of Denton and trying to figure out how this is going to work. What we're trying to do is do a joint venture with the city of Denton where they kind of partner with us on the deal. And we'd, you know, basically throw our parking lot in for free, and the city of Denton would possibly own the parking garage and the convention center, and we would do a lease back for 25 years with them. And then at the end of 25 years, of course, I'll probably be dead, but at the end of 25, we can either buy the city, pay for the convention center and the parking garage, or we can do another 25-year lease. Hopefully is how it's gonna work. But I don't know yet on the taxes, but I mean, I promise I pay a ton of property taxes, you know that. And so nobody wants the taxes to go up less than I do. Anybody else?
Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir.
So what is the investment opportunities in something like this? And is there investment opportunity for the people who live in the city of Denton?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying for the people that in the community that's been living here, and you know, they're not millionaires, or we are not millionaires, but we might have a few coins we can rub together.
Yes, sir.
And wouldn't it be nice if we had an opportunity for some of these
You
new
will
adventures
have.
to go and have investment
Everybody-
opportunities?
Yes, sir.
That
Everybody.
didn't take $1 million, or maybe you can break it down some?
Yeah.
And then look forward to what would be the payback on something like that as an investment?
Yes, sir. Everybody, right now, I've got about 32 investors in the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize I'm probably gonna have to raise another 10 million.
I don't have that. Can you break down just a little bit?
Maybe your aunt or uncle might.
Well, you somebody talking about reparations that they're gonna give us for running us off Bell Avenue?
Yeah.
You talking about that money? Oh, no, you're talking about money I have now.
Yeah.
No, what-
So
what
it'll
about the
be,
investment?
there'll definitely be, anybody in town will have an opportunity to invest in it.
Okay.
Without a doubt, I'm gonna need all the help I can get. Yes, sir.
Are you only dealing with the Wells Fargo building and not any of the surrounding, businesses or?
Yeah, the Wells Fargo, and then the parking lot behind it on the east side, and then the parking lot on the south side. That's it.
Okay.
And what we'd do is do the parking garage first, get that done before we even start on any of the other construction. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you mentioned a Quakertown themed speakeasy. Considering the history of Quakertown and it being about people making money off of that community, if we have a speakeasy that's themed about that, are there any plans for like the proceeds to go to, I don't know, scholarship funds or something to do with advancing the history of Quakertown? That way it doesn't look like appropriation.
We'd sure be open to it.
Okay.
Never thought about it that way.
And I'll remind him.
Yeah, this lady, we talk on the phone every week, so she'll keep me in line, right? And this one,
So Scott,
yeah, hey, Randy.
we started out here
Uh-huh,
figuring out the history of what happened at Quaker
uh-huh,
and figuring out which families lived at which locations. And then what happened in 1922 that created the neighborhoods over here, just to pause them, because you know who had to move.
mhm,
So, one of the things that has been finished is that Historic Denton has been working with Texas Historic Commission, the National Park Service to make National Register districts. We just finished the original town of Denton. And one of the things that we went back and talked to the National Park Service about was to make sure that they would honor the Wells Fargo building as being 50 years of age, because then that qualifies it for that 45% tax incentive.
wow,
And that was granted, because we found the original photos of what the bank wanted to do. It was originally 3 stories, they added 5 more.
uh-huh,
So, as long as you're willing to work with the National Park Service and the Texas Historic Commission, y'all will get the same thing as what the Fairhaven Retirement Home got, which is at 45%.
wow. I didn't know that. Thank you, Randy. Another deal that's pretty neat about this project that everybody in town needs to know is the state has a grant where they will reimburse the city for every penny they put into our project. But the negative side of it is they pay the city back over a 10-year period. But the city will get back every penny that they put in this project eventually over 10 years. And so to me, it's, you know, just the parking garage alone is gonna change downtown Denton. And the hotel rooms, the average, like we talked about, the average nightly rate being, was it $350? What is it?
195 to 215.
195 to 215, I'm sorry. So it's very affordable, and then there are some up high, you know, the up high rooms that look to the courthouse, they're gonna cost a little bit more, I'm sure, but it will also have some hotel rooms along, on the, I guess it would be the north side of the parking garage that runs along, Hickory. So all that'll, and the cool deal about those rooms is they'll all have balconies. You can't, we don't want to do balconies on the tall building just because of suicide stuff. I don't need anybody jumping off the 9th floor or 8th floor.
Where did the Wells Fargo building go? Will the bank be moved to? Where
Yes, and they're excited about, they would leave tomorrow, because right now, they've been leasing from them when COVID and all this hit. They've only got probably 15 people in their bank, and they're renting 2 floors from them. So they want to get completely, we offered to put them in a smaller location there in the new construction, but they want to get out of downtown Denton. What they mentioned to me is they might want to go to Razor Ranch. They would rather be at Razor Ranch than downtown Denton.
So that means people that's banking with them will have to go to Razor's Ranch?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just get that.
What about the attorney?
No, he moved. He bought a place on, the corner of, I think it's First Street and Locust. He bought a freestanding building. He was there a long time.
Yeah, he's been there for quite a long
Yeah, on the 7th floor. Him and L.A. Nelson. Anybody else have anything?
Yes, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Have you already met with the D1 rep and the mayor about this project? And are they in favor of it?
I mean, I have met with the mayor, and I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth, and he's standing back here. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's a loaded question.
How is it loaded?
You can talk about, you can just, Scott, Tarwater.
So you just gonna overlook the question that I just asked him, Mayor?
Go ahead, Tarwater.
Well, the question is, have you spoken with the D1 rep and the mayor about this?
Yes, I have.
And are they in favor of that? If you spoke with them and you're here, because you haven't been in Southeast Denton, period. What? Hold on now, hold on. You haven't been here. Now, hold on.
Who said what?
Hold on.
I did, because you've been here probably.
He's been in Denton. I know Scott, I graduated a year before. I know him. You act like I don't know him. I know who he is. Now my question is, right? You don't live in South.
I would be willing.
You don't live in South. I was born and raised here. You wasn't born and raised here. You wasn't born and raised in South.
Let me tell y'all something about Setna right now. We do not do that in Setna.
Thank you.
Okay, we are not gonna have this going back and forth.
The bottom line is
We are
being
not gonna have
disrespected.
it. Okay, I'm telling y'all right now, Setna is an organization we started years ago. Y'all wasn't here. Y'all was not here. We are not gonna have this. We've never had this.
But
This
you
back
need
and
to make
forth.
sure that
Okay,
the mayor knows that. When I ask my question,
Listen to me. We got rules. We are not gonna do it this way. Every meeting is back and forth. We're not gonna do it this way. We're just not gonna have it.
Thank you.
if you don't ask the question, they don't get
Okay,
the answer.
don't, let him ask, you ask your question, he give you your answer.
He didn't give me the answer. The mayor spoke for him and then
Okay.
told him to overlook
Mayor,
it.
let him go ahead and answer.
Brothers and sisters,
That's
the
it.
sisters are right. On the incentive, what we do, people come and do a presentation, we ask them a question, and then they come back the next meeting.
Did I not ask him a question? Did I not ask him a question?
I mean, that's a political thing that you get into, Nate.
How is that when I just asked him a simple question?
He declined to answer.
Can I
He
say
didn't decline until
something?
the mayor intervened in
Can
that.
I say something? I'm sorry. I do want to make sure you understand. My dad grew up on Curly Street. That's where he lived. Ask McDade. My dad and his family lived on Curly Street. Only white family. And so that's bothering me a little bit that you're acting. I used to take African Americans home every day after football practice. I'll be willing to bet I know my way around it.
Did you live over there?
I never did live
Okay, that's
over
good
there.
right there. All right.
So does that mean you're not gonna go for the project?
Answer the question.
Scott, move on.
All right, Mr. Tarlon.
If you want to step outside, we can talk about it. I'm not upset. It's not, I'm just, so we don't interfere, because I got other questions. That's
Okay,
it.
before he speaks, I have food over here, maybe that will, everybody's hungry. Everybody's hungry, so if you just let Audrey know what you want, she'll get it for you. I have pizza and wings, okay? And drinks.
Let's do the presentation.
It's pizza time.
Go ahead, Scott.
Thank you. My name is Scott Tarwater, and I'm from Grapevine, Texas. I've been developing hotels my whole life, and I'm honored to be here tonight. Mr. Brown's right. I've had my eye on downtown Denton and the square for a long time, because within 3 years, Denton will be the center of the economic metroplex. The whole metroplex is coming to Denton. And with that said, as I read the tea leaves, I had the pleasure of developing the first hotel in Frisco, Texas. It was an absolute cow pasture. Everyone thought I'd lost my mind. 21 hotels later and $9 billion worth of development, maybe we got something right. When I first brought the Embassy Suites idea to Denton, everybody said, that'll never work. 4 years in a row now, it's the #1 Embassy Suites in the world. The economic impact for a project like this will be in the untold millions of dollars. What I'm proud of is Ms. Bird and Mayor Hudspeth have taken the time to educate Mr. Brown and I about Quakertown, the rich history of your heritage. What Ms. Bird has also done is brought many of the elderly ladies from your community to our development office, one right after the other, to explain to us what happened before, after, during Quakertown, and where the community is today. So Mr. Brown has commissioned us to take these ladies and any of you that would like to participate in this, and we're going to video, Sean, the history of your heritage, and we will show it in this hotel on a non-stop basis in the speakeasy. And what Ms. Bird has been so great at articulating is our ability to have local artists from your community to do a collage of Quakertown leading into the speakeasy. Mr. Brown, with his rich 5-generation history in Denton, has done more than any single person to preserve the city square of Denton. I'm excited to be a part of your community if you will allow it. I'm excited that Mr. Bird has introduced us to so many in your community that we're going to preserve for posterity. I believe in the project. I work every day on the project. I would like to give you my cell phone number to let you know I'm available 24/7 to meet with you individually as a group. And Mr. Brown is also. My cell phone number is 417-848-7865.
And mine is,
Repeat.
Repeat yours, please.
417-848-7865. And if you can't find me, Miss Bird can always track me down. When she calls, Scott Brown and I stand tall.
And she said, where's your name?
Scott, what's yours?
my phone number, his
We have
name's
to talk
Scott
about your name, we
Tarwater.
need your name.
His name is what?
Scott Tarwater.
Tarwater.
Tarwater?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Cherokee.
Oh, okay. Tarwater, okay.
Scott Brown. This is Scott 1, Scott 2.
No, Scott Brown.
You know Scott Brown.
My number's 940-390-7368.
Mr. Scott,
Yes, sir.
any project that you've done,
Yes, sir.
you got a history of doing projects in different cities. Can you name one project that could be tagged as gentrification?
That could be what?
That could be tagged as a project that caused gentrification. The influx of a large project into a minority community that actually disrupted it, destroyed it, or redefined it. Can you name any project after years, have you look back and say, well, yeah, we destroyed, we impeded, we changed the outlook of that community. It was once a minority community, but now it has been influxed because of my project. It has changed the dimension and the picture of that community. Can you think
Yes,
of
sir.
any?
Here's what I would like to, if you would allow me. I can give you a list of mayors, governors, senators in small communities, in small America, that would tell you that the projects we brought to their community were the game changer, the economic game changer for the life of their community 20 years ago, 30 years ago, to today. It has done more for employment, tax base, than any single development they ever thought about. They will sing the praises of their current development that I had the pleasure of being a small part of in 40 different states.
I think one of the things that I appreciate about this development, and by the way, please know that anytime that there is a developer that is on board to do something in the city, if it's within the purview of the council person, District 1, they will notify us via mail that they are ready to start the process. And if there's anything that we may want them or need them to know. And we have that privilege to do that. So just like any other developer, certainly I got some information about this project coming in because it's in my district. So this is something that I was excited to hear what's coming in. I did hear their presentation, and one of the things I politely reminded them that they have got to include some good history in here from the African American community. And so that's how that conversation came about. Yes, ma'am.
We got people here that relatives of the people that were in Quakertown.
Yeah.
So y'all don't really know the background like some of us already know.
But that's what we've done, we've turned it over. I mean, you know, I'm not doing it, because like you said, but we are honoring the people that are here
I
to tell their
met
story.
with
So it's gonna
Bonita
be
White's, is it her aunt? Bonita White's aunt, we met with her, and she's the oldest, or from what I hear, the oldest person that lived in
My
Quakertown.
parents came from over there.
Yeah.
We're setting up a studio to video your story, the history, so that your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will never forget the heritage of your community.
We've been working on that. We've been working on that for the last year.
Yeah, I was married to a man that lived in Quakertown for 30 years. And his name was William McKinley Clark. So I think, and I would hear the story of the 34 years that we were married, almost 30 years. I came to Denton in '62 and I lived in the house that was in Quakertown in 2002.
Please tell me your name.
My name is Alma.
Alma, I'm Scott Tarwater. Will you please allow me, wherever you are, I'll pick you up. I want to get your story on the film.
We have it.
Ask everyone that had relatives in Quaker, raise their hand so that you can see who they are.
Yes, how many of you had relatives in Quakertown?
Behind you.
All right. Have we got a story to tell? Yes, sir, I know.
So, and this one's not necessarily for the Scots. Unfortunately, the answer that you gave a second ago actually was the definition of gentrification. So my question is more for, or my concern is more for Councilor Bird and the mayor and the other councilors in the room. Is there a way that the city can kind of come together and give a presentation to the members of this community that lets them know that their community will be protected from basically outside interests that would actually wind up running them out of their community as an extension of this? Because this is not on you. I know you guys, if you guys put up something, you're going to wind up attracting a lot of people wanting to move into the outside areas. So what would probably be best would be something that it ensures basically a continuity of the people who have built this community over the years. That would be probably awesome, I think.
And I will say we have our planning group here. This is why they're here. They want to make sure that everything's transparent here. So they're here. They're hearing everything in terms of in that regard. So I appreciate the board being here.
Madam President, ma'am. Look, my frustration is this. We have a committee that voted to allow a multifamily house on Robertson at the corner of Skinner. That will affect this neighborhood. That's gonna change this neighborhood forever. And no one's talking about it. He's worried about a building downtown miles away from here. No one is talking about that property behind the cemetery. That will change this neighborhood.
And Mr. Mayor,
So, I didn't interrupt your question.
I'll
I didn't interrupt your question.
No, go ahead.
Thank you. So, I beg this neighborhood, please don't get caught up, please don't get distracted. Let's focus on things that truly affect our neighborhood. And not get distracted by this narrative that will not affect our neighborhood. Let's stay focused on what will get us God in a hurry. What happens downtown is not gonna get us. Behind that cemetery, if we're not in that conversation early, before it's too late, will get us. Them changing that zoning on that corner, understand, just again, go within your mind. Skinner Street is owned by Morrison Miller. They're never gonna use that property. But the minute all that starts looking like commercial, Morrison Millen doesn't care about this neighborhood. They're gonna sell that whole side of the street. And then now all of a sudden, everything from Skinner towards the railroad is in trouble. Because all that you can say is a line and a buffer for the neighborhoods. So don't get distracted by this nonsense. It's a fair question, but it's not accurate, and it has nothing to do with District 1. And if they try to tell you that, then ask them about that fourplex that is now, it's commercial property in the middle of our neighborhood, and that is egregious.
I do need to rebut, because you did
We're not
mention
talking
that.
about.
No, but I just want to say,
Hold on.
I just want to say one thing, because he addressed this as nonsense, and it's not. And I want to make sure everyone understands. My question and his concern are not an either-or thing. It's not this or that. What I was talking about was protecting the community as a whole. So it is not that fourplex and nothing else. It is not this building and nothing else. My concern is everything that comes in on every side. So it's not nonsense. We're actually talking about the same thing. I'm just not breaking it out, and it would be great if we, had reassurances, and that's all I meant.
Okay, Scott, if y'all don't mind hanging around, if you don't have questions, y'all can answer that, we're gonna have to move on.
I just have one question, that, you were talking about the project behind the cemetery. Does everybody here know about that project?
No. Yes.
So I'm saying, so why hasn't anyone come down here and told us about that project? I mean, isn't that what these meetings, I don't know how long it's been in the works.
Well, there is nothing in the works.
Yeah, okay,
So what do you want me to do?
No, I'm just saying, you were saying we need to worry about that, but we can't worry about what we don't know.
Certainly you can. What you can do is start by not, being engaging and not blaming everybody for everything and making it where you have an engaging conversation. And I absolutely will plug them in with the president here, and I'll do it the right way.
Okay,
and not get them get blindsided by a group of folks that doesn't represent this community. I will plug them in with the president.
I'm just talking
and
about
the president.
everyone here in this community,
Yeah.
so they'll know.
When they have someone to report to, or they have some report, I'm plugging them in with the president like I should, and it'll go from there.
Okay, you can't ask much more than that.
Make questions.
All right, thank you, Scott. If anybody have any questions, they'll be here after the meeting. And again, is anybody else hungry? All right, moving along.